You'll see a lot of gluten-free products for sale. At first glance, if you don't know what gluten is, you might think it's a harmful ingredient and gluten-free foods are made because they're healthier. Of course, that's not true. Gluten is a complex mixture of hundreds of different proteins, although it consists mainly of the proteins gliadin and glutenin. These are found naturally in wheat, rye, barley and triticale. We make flour from these grains, then add water to form dough. In this stage, gluten acts as a glue. It holds the ingredients together and increases the quality, consistency and flexibility of the dough, so foods containing gluten are easier to chew and have a better texture. If gluten is important in making better foods, why are there gluten-free foods? It's because gluten is harmful to some people who have gluten intolerance or celiac disease. When someone with gluten intolerance consumes gluten foods, their body identifies the gluten as a harmful substance. Consequently, the immune system attacks the gluten, triggering an allergic reaction. Usually these allergic reactions are mild and confined to perhaps nasal congestion or eye irritation. In other cases, the reaction may be more serious and involve nausea and vomiting, diarrhea, hives, or a rash. In the most extreme cases, a person may suffer a life-threatening condition called anaphylaxis, in which they have severe difficulty breathing. Celiac disease is a chronic condition in which, as in the case of gluten intolerance, a person's immune system attacks gluten if it's consumed. But the attack occurs while the gluten is being absorbed by the small intestine and damages the villi, the small finger-like projections that line the small intestine and promote nutrient absorption. Damage to villi is irreversible, so that over time the body loses its ability to absorb nutrients properly. Many symptoms can result from this. Some people with celiac disease have no symptoms at all, yet test positive on a celiac blood test. A few others may have a negative blood test, but have a positive intestinal biopsy. However, all people with celiac disease are at risk for long-term complications, whether or not they display any symptoms. Gluten-free foods are produced for people who have gluten intolerance or celiac disease. If you consume them, you should be aware that they may contain more fat, sugar and salt to compensate for the fact that gluten-free foods are less tasty than those containing gluten. It's a good idea to check the amount of these ingredients as shown on the packaging. Fortunately, medical knowledge and awareness of gluten intolerance and celiac disease is much greater now than it was in the past. This, combined with the availability of gluten-free food and drink products, means that people with these conditions can live much healthier lives.